We the People. Both links are in the description box below this video. Happy Tuesday morning. I hope you had a good start to your week. I hope better things will be coming this week. Well, you know, Joe Biden said that he don't have a whole lot of time to visit the southern border to see the mess that he's created down there. This past weekend was no different than any other. He flies home to Delaware so he can sleep at night because he can't sleep in Washington. I wonder why. But what about saving the planet with all this flying around, going back and forth to his home every weekend so he can sleep? What about saving the planet with all that jet fuel being dispersed into the atmosphere? He's destroying the planet in his eyes because he's all for the Green New Deal. And of course, it's our money that's paying for his trips back and forth home. But this weekend was a little bit different because he had a dinner guest at his house. None other than Joe Manchin came to dinner. Supposedly they had a dinner and they talked about the stimulus package, but no details came out from that little dinner party. I will say Joe Biden probably invited him to his house for dinner to offer him another payoff like he did last time to get his. Joe Biden has been doing a whole lot of Joe Manchin ass kissing, if you ask me. They are fighting to get the bill done, and it's just full of the Green New Deal stuff for Biden. They want to get it done right before the World Climate Summit so the Americans won't be embarrassed if they don't have a plan ready for the summit. I think what they need to be worried about is not if we're embarrassed about the Green New Deal. They need to worry about us being embarrassed about our president. It looks like the American people are taking a back seat to all of his Green New Deal stuff. They want to cut things that will help the low-income people the most. And these are the people that needs the help the most. But they're not talking about cutting their pet projects. It's like the American people don't matter. After all, the only thing we've done is vote them into office and fund their fat paychecks. Midterms are coming up, y'all. We need to clean the White House, the House of Representatives, and the Senate. We need to clean house in all three places. The low income needs at least one more stimulus check of $2,000. Just like was promised by Joe Biden throughout his campaign. The low-income people on Social Security, SSI, SSDI, and VA needs a raise to their monthly check in the amount of $200, just like it was promised by Joe Biden throughout his campaign. American families needs the child tax credit extended till 2025. I know a lot of people have got different opinions about the child tax credit, but that don't cost us anything. That's their money. Joe Biden needs to forgive the student loans, just like he promised it throughout his campaign. Now, personally, I'm not a big component of the forgiving student loans. But the fact is, Joe Biden promised it. He needs to deliver it. American families needs help with child care, so single mothers can go back to work. But they would only get this care, this help if they actually go back to work. They can't just use this money for child babysitting just so they can go shopping or whatever. They have to go back to work to get this help. The only thing Joe Biden is worried about is pushing his electric cars. Something that the normal people, me included, can't afford an electric car. They're just too expensive. But I guess he's got an electric car company that's a big donor of his. That's why he's pushing. Over the weekend, Joe Biden was still trying to sell his big lie about this $3.5 trillion spending bill. It will not cost the American people a penny. He says $0. But again, nobody is buying into this lie because most Americans are too smart to think that we can get a free ride. It has to be paid for somewhere, somehow, by someone, and that's us for the rest of our lives. Y'all, if the Democrats don't need anyone but them to get this Reconciliation Act passed to help the American people, and it should be just to help the American people, nothing else put into it. But if they can do it on their own, why is it taking them all these months to get it done? Why can't they just sign it, get it to the president, and let him sign off on it? I'm going to ask you all a question. Please put your answers in the comment box below. How do you think that this makes the Democrat Party? If they can do this by themselves, why hadn't they done it? How does this make them look? How does this make them line up for a re-election in 2024? Please let me know in your comments below. How do you think the Democrat Party is looking right now for re-election? And again, I want to say thank you so much for all the support that you give me on this channel, allowing me to do this. Thank you so much. Nancy Pelosi says this bill is 90% done, and she can't understand why people don't believe that it's been much progress made. But this bill is 90% done, and she says that it will be passed this week. To Nancy, I would say, Nancy, people don't believe you because you've lied so many times, just like Joe Biden and everybody else in Washington. You are no different than any other politician that ever walked the face of the earth. All you do is get what you want and lie to the American people. That's why we don't believe you. And you're a well-educated woman, you should know. Pelosi promises that this bill will be paid for, and even more than paid for, with new revenue. Really? Even more than paid for? Who do you think is going to pay these new taxes? It's the American people. One way or the other, we will pay these new taxes. If we don't get taxed ourselves, these big corporations will raise their prices, and we will pay the tax at the cash register. Nancy, I beg you, please, put your vodka bottle down. Your brain is pickled. Oh, and get you some more Polygroup when you're at it too. On the illegal criminals crossing our southern border. I don't have to tell you about all the millions that's already crossed into our country. But now the Mexico president is warning the United States that a massive group is headed to the border in hopes of entering the United States. And we know Joe Biden will welcome them with open arms, just like he's always done. Okay, this will get you fired up. Joe Biden's choice for overseeing the banking industry wants to transfer all checking and savings accounts to a Federal Reserve account. So now your bank account will become a Fed account. When the federal government prints more money, they will deposit a small amount into your account. But when they need to control spending, they will take money from your account anytime they see fit and for the amount that they see fit. They will give you a social, and when you fall below a certain level, all your credit will be cut off. Sounds a whole lot like Russia to me. I'm an American. Aren't we still in America? That sounds a whole lot like communism. Y'all, it's time to move out of the United States banks and go offshore with your money. If you got any substantial money, go offshore with it. Don't let them find your money. Don't let them be in control of your money. And if you can get a job getting paid under the table, I suggest you do that also. Y'all, please let me know in the comments what you think about all this. Y'all, say a prayer for our country. Say a prayer for our world. Say a prayer for our leaders, that they will start leading and doing the right thing. Because as of right now, they're not doing anything. Please say a prayer for everyone around the world that's hurting through financial hardship, COVID, or any other. And just know I love you all. Keep your faith in Jesus Christ. He will get us through this. I love you all. Until next time. Ciao.